Hey everyone, this is Charles Mitri from loungeboudoir.com, and today I want to talk about how do you know when you're ready to start charging for your boudoir photography. Now, if you're just starting out shooting boudoir, maybe you're transitioning from another genre into boudoir, and you've been practicing, maybe you've done some trade shoots, how do you know when you should start charging? There are two things I think you should be getting a green light on before that happens. Number one is you should be getting your images critiqued by peers, by people you respect, other boudoir photographers, and they're giving you very little kind of adjustments or alterations in which to improve your photography. If they're giving you, sort of big changes like, the lighting is really not good. The pose is, these are not sellable poses. Like if you're getting big critiques like that, then you need to spend more time working on those areas. But if they're just like sort of slight little things like, oh, this is really good, the only thing I would do would be, maybe this. They're kind of commenting on little nuances of things, minor things. Then if you get enough of those from people you respect, photographers whose work you respect, then you're probably okay starting to charge people with your photography. Now, on the other side of things, confidence-wise, one green light you should be looking for is you've done enough trade shoots, you've done, a lot of shooting for free, practicing, and you start hearing a voice in your head saying, I should be getting paid for this. I really should be getting paid for this. I'm tired of doing these trade shoots. I really should be charging people. When you start hearing words like that in your head, then you're starting to gain the confidence that you know what you're doing. You've been through the routine enough times where you know what to expect. You've gone through the process of someone coming in and making small talking, making them feel comfortable, and you have a plan for the shoot, and the plan goes well, and your images are coming out really nice, and they look good. That's when that voice in your head is going to start telling you, I really should be making some money with this. So when you have that happening inside your head, and you also are getting really minor critiques and minor adjustments from your images, from your peer group, then I think it's time to start charging people for your services. Now, one thing I want to mention with the critiques, going back to the first part, is sometimes you have to really push people in critiquing you, because I've seen some work on some private Facebook groups, which I think is pretty subpar, not at the level it should be at in order to charge people. And I've seen people say, oh my God, your work is amazing. And it's really not. So either two things are happening. Either those people really don't have a good sense of what is a good boudoir image as far as lighting goes, as far as the pose goes, as far as the expression goes, or they don't want to hurt the person's feelings by criticizing their work. And I think it's more of the latter than the former. I think a lot of boudoir photographers are kind of hesitant to criticize another person's work. Now, there's a way to do that in a respectful manner, constructive criticism. Whenever you critique someone's work, always point out the positive first, and then move into things that they can improve upon. That's a good way to approach it. So I wanted to mention that if you're a boudoir photographer that's really interested in improving your work, and you're okay with, people criticizing your work, then push them in your post saying, look, don't hold back. I really want to improve. How does everything look to you? Is the lighting good? Is the pose good? So I'll tell you a brief story of critiques in my own life, in another area of my life. I used to live in Los Angeles and I used to write screenplays. I never sold any, but I loved writing. And I wrote, about 10 screenplays. And it's a huge process. Now, writing is extremely difficult. Writing a compelling story with interesting characters and plot twists and having, things unexpected happen and having a fantastic ending. That is a rare commodity. It's very difficult to create a piece of work like that. Now, I would always get my scripts, my screenplays that I was working on, critiqued by professionals who knew a lot more about it than I did. And I always got incredible advice and feedback from them that improved my stories, that improved my writing. And what that does is it doesn't just improve it for that one story you're working on, it improves it for your writing overall. And that's what getting your boudoir images critiqued does. It's not just improving that image, it's going to improve the element that they're critiquing in that image, but that you can apply to all the images that you're going to be working on in the future. Now, I'm very open to critique. I'm very open to criticism, as long as it's not done in a snarky kind of way. And it's done, to help you in a nice way. Some people's ego, and I've learned this from other writers, they cannot take criticism. They cannot take any negative, what they perceive to be negative feedback on their work at all. They'll argue. They'll try to defend it. And they may be right in some instances, but in most instances they're probably not right. And it's just their ego unable to not live up to their own standards, their own level of where they think they are. I mean, their writing might be here at this level, okay, and their ego is here. And it needs to be the other way around. Your ego needs to be here and your writing needs to be here. And it's the same with your photography. Don't shy away from the comments that you'll perceive as being negative. It's all geared towards making you a better photographer. There is a ton to learn about photography, a ton. I'm at a point where I'm sort of over the basics, but my learning never stops, especially with lighting and posing and composition and expression. The learning gets more detailed and more nuanced and more minute. You're not making these big strides with your photography like you will when you first start out, because everything is so new, but the learning never ends. You have to want to get better as a photographer, as a boudoir photographer. That's another thing. If your end goal is to just have a business and make money, your photography won't improve. You have to kind of want to be a really good photographer to begin with, I think. I see both kinds of photographers out there. I see photographers that are really into their look, their lighting, their subject, getting everything just right. And I see others who just take pictures. You have to decide which photographer you want to be. Both can earn money. Both can earn a lot of money. So the artistic side is different from the financial side. One is not necessarily tied to the other. Now, granted, the more artistic you are, the odds will be in your favor that you will also be successful financially. But the two can be completely separate. You can have very mediocre images and make a lot of money. You can have fantastic images and make a lot of money, or not make a lot of money. And the same with the other side. You can have mediocre images and not make a lot of money. I guess what I'm trying to say is be open to constructive criticism. Get your work in front of other boudoir photographers who you respect. If you can, check out their work. If they're critiquing you, check out their work and see if you like their work at all. If their work is amazing, then what they're saying is probably a good thing. If their work is not very good, then you have to take their criticism with a grain of salt. But get it out there, get it in front of people, and the best place to do this is in private boudoir photographer Facebook groups, okay? There are many all over the place. I belong to a few of them. It's also a great way to keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on in the boudoir photography world. But you can post your images in these groups, ask for constructive criticism, tell them don't hold back, but be kind. And then when you get the criticism, apply the ones that you think are good, have quality critiques to them, have quality comments to them, and disregard the ones that you feel don't apply. There's sort of a sorting through the comments. Don't take everything with blind faith. Do your own assessment. So that's what I have to say about when do you know if you're ready to start charging for your boudoir. Okay, so thanks so much for listening. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and also if you want to subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. Check out my articles on loungeboudoir.com. I write all about boudoir photography, shooting boudoir, running a boudoir photography business. And I will see you at a future point in the YouTube universe. So long. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up.